Hi, everybody. Welcome to my studio. I am experimenting with some new lighting and new camera angles, so I'm pretty happy with this. Let me know what you think. Hi, Jay. Um, I can't see the comments very well. I have to kind of get under the camera and look up, but I will try to check in once in a while. So I decided, because I got some of these nice oranges and deep yellows mixed in with this lemon yellow, then instead of going into this, well, it's the background relative to the Giselle, and it's the foreground relative to the sky, but this green area, to work on that later because um, I was going to clean this area out and start a fresh batch of greens and yellows there, but I think instead I'm going to experiment with some of these like reds and oranges and add them to this palette and go into the body of the Giselle and kind of brighten up what's going on there already. Yeah. So where to start? Pyrrole red. That's a beautiful bright red, kind of like this. I'm not sure what I used for that. I've been working on this painting so long, I'm definitely losing track of like when I like what phase of it I was working with what. There's a little of the orange got in the bottle. I don't want that, so yeah. Just oof. Okay. This is a little bit more of an earth tone than I want to do right now. This Caroline. This is Paul Rubens watercolors. I said if you guys want to sponsor me, let me know. I'm available. I'm planning on continuing to do this though. Really, jokes aside, because I am joking. But I would take I would take a sponsorship. I just am laughing because it's kind of beyond. It's kind of like a wild dream. But I'm gonna try to stay optimistic. I I don't know if I don't know if you guys follow me on my page. I've not been feeling optimistic today. I've been feeling like I'm out of it, like not because I want to be, but because I just am tired of feeling let down by like things bigger than us that we can't control. And so I'm going to really hope that people with more power than me do their best and do what they know is right because I have done everything I can. And I feel like all that I can do now is try to take care of my well being and my family. And I think that sharing my art with you, I hope is a really great way that I can hopefully support other people. So yeah, welcome to my studio. I'm trying to make sure that you guys can see the part I'm working on. Yeah, so I think I'm not like totally like never gonna feel hope again, but I'm feeling kind of down and I'm feeling like I want that to be okay. I don't want to be inauthentically optimistic. I don't want to act like things are okay when they aren't. I think there's a lot of things going on in the world like that. However you believe or see things, I think you can probably all agree that there's some things that are just um, very concerning and that we don't have a lot of control over. So we do the best we can. And if we feel hopeful, we feel hopeful. And if we feel like nothing will ever be resolved, it's okay. I really want to talk about like holding space for other people's emotions because, the way people kind of got upset with me for being like, I'm feeling like I've like lost hope in this moment about the situation is like not an attack on how you're feeling about it. And I might go back and forth, but really like we need to have a talk about like respecting our emotional states and other people's emotional states. Like it's okay to feel down, like negative emotions aren't bad and they don't mean that you don't care and they don't mean um that you aren't loyal or anything. It's just it's part of being human. And while I'm talking about art and everything, I guess I also want to talk about that, about letting each other be human, including sometimes not feeling as positively or optimistic um as we'd like them to be. I think sometimes I step into this role intentionally of like I want to lift people up and inspire people, but also like remember that we all need to be allowed to experience the full range of human emotions, even especially when you spend a lot of time doing your best to support other people. um, the people who hold space for other people, they need space held for them sometimes to be imperfect and human. And yeah, so I do art, talk about like being a human being. And yeah, I hope everyone's having a good night. I have no idea if anyone is in here. It looks like people are in here. Welcome. I'm trying to check the comments, so feel free to drop a comment. I might not see it right away because I'm working in the angle and everything, but I am checking that. Yeah, I don't mind, you know, some optimism, and I don't mind being critical of things, but oh, I remember where I was going with that. I got a little carried away with what I was doing, which is nice. Oh, I was going to talk about like faith, and it's great to have faith. Like I have a lot of faith in like things that are bigger than me that I don't necessarily understand, and um spirit and creator, God, however you name things that are bigger than us like that. But I also grew up in kind of a rigid religious environment, and I also feel like I really I like to find my own way of experiencing faith in existence. And I've been starting to feel like with things that have been going on, like I had so much faith, and I knew I was being a little naive, but I was like, I would rather just believe this is possible and believe I did everything I could, and I did. Now I have to like let go of that a little, okay? And like everyone who's dealing with that is dealing with it in their own way. And it would be great if someone came in to like save us, but I just don't know, okay? So I can't like do that to myself, like try to have like blind faith, but like I still have faith in like God and like each other. But I'm feeling a little disillusioned, and it's okay for me to be in that place, and it's okay for other people to be wherever they are. Everyone is just dealing with a lot, okay? Back to painting, back to my little detail brush. uh, somebody in another video had commented about the script brush, which I really like. I found one in like a really cheap set I had that had like a bunch of little brushes, and I played with it and I really liked it. But I I went back to my little detail brush. So um, yeah, I don't know if just using one type of brush is really my style. I was talking the other day about how a lot of people who are really into watercolor um, are really into having just like one brush that they always work with. Oh, but yeah, that's just one way of doing it. Yeah, I think it's okay for people to be disillusioned. I'm going back to that now, but what I think is not okay um, is to blame each other, because I really think there's like things going on that are, we don't really want to admit how little control the average person has over what's really going on right now. So I really want to avoid arguing with people, and I really want to avoid unintentionally antagonizing anyone, or like it's just like I definitely don't want to blame people. I think that that's one of the most important things we can do, actually. I think there's a lot of voices coming from different places that are encouraging us to distrust each other and to fight with each other. And it's just really important to prioritize our humanity and the things we have in common. And, that includes holding space for feeling disillusioned about all kinds of things that are going on. If people feel disillusioned, you know, that's part of waking up too, and then coming back to being like, okay, what's going on is messed up, but people go through all their feelings because they're all important. You know what I mean? There's this idea that emotions are, messengers from the body and the psyche, and they're telling us that there's a need that needs to be met usually. I mean, that's one perspective on that kind of thing. So yeah, if I don't usually, I tend to get more chatty during lives than I do pre-recorded videos. The the pre-recorded videos that I have up on my YouTube and my TikTok are kind of more like tutorial oriented. I tend to talk a lot more about what I'm doing and the technique, and less about like life and all that stuff I was just talking about. Not that that's not important, but I tend to get more chatty about that stuff during lives. So yeah, if you're interested in checking out my YouTube or my page on TikTok, that I have more of these kind of tutorial style videos posted. They're about a half hour each. Um, my YouTube is Dragonfly Heart Art, and that's my Lemon8 too, which of course you can connect through TikTok now. Um, so I'm trying to do this like more seriously. It's just always been something I'd tried before to do it more like professionally, and some things happened that were kind of out of my control. But I'm excited to focus on that more again. Yeah, and I'm excited to share it with everybody here. It's like very exciting because when I got started with this stuff was like before these kind of platforms really took off. So I love getting to share my work with more people like this. I think that's really exciting. Hi, everyone. I did just start a subscription page. I have a lot of ideas for that, but honestly, I need a couple subscribers first. But yeah, if you want to, if you feel like giving extra support, that's of course really appreciated. And I have my Venmo is also Dragonfly Heart Art. I'm gonna start doing more stuff. I think I might set up a Shopify and uh, someone, a friend, uh, Bubba on here. I don't know if you're on right now. Had suggested like maybe auctioning off this piece, and I thought that was a really great idea. But honestly, I don't know if I'm going to sell this piece. But um, I ordered some little canvases today that are like 4 by 4 inches, like little square canvas boards that are suited for watercolor and oil and stuff. And I'm thinking about doing a series of smaller paintings that Um, I might sell on Shopify, or we'll see. But yeah, I'm thinking about other ways to get my art out there, and I'd love to do prints and stuff. But honestly, I'm just kind of getting on my feet with it, and I love that all I need to do to start with like the lives and building an audience like that is just have my phone and my paints that I've had for a long time. So I really appreciate that. And I appreciate getting to share my process with you. I love teaching, and I get a lot of joy out of teaching art on this platform too. And you don't need to be looking at it as educational, but like I said, I do try to talk about a lot of technique and stuff so that if that's what you want to get out of it, um, I'm trying to share that here. And if you just enjoy seeing art, then I'm really happy if you're enjoying the space too. It's all good. I want everyone to um, you know who comes to this page to get something out of it that is flexible and can work for different people for different reasons. That's not what I meant to do. Oh well. Okay. I might need to get some fresh paint on this palette here. I do think I'm going to need to wipe this palette up a little bit. I don't know if you guys can see. I was working on the face, so that should be good. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Please, follow my page if you haven't already to keep posted. I was saying I do these kind of tutorial like videos, and I also do time lapses that are really fun. So you can see the process really quickly, and some people find it kind of meditative, and I think they're really fun to make and watch. So I have a lot of those on my TikTok and my Lemonade and my YouTube. You guys know how to find me on TikTok because we're on TikTok Live. But my Lemonade and Venmo and YouTube are all Dragonfly Heart Art. Yeah, let's get some more yellows. Oh, yeah, that tube has got something going on with the pressure. Go. get some cadmium yellow. I have cadmium yellow light and deep. They're kind of more different colors than than the name might imply. And then I have this really, really deep yellow that's almost like an orange that I've been working with. So these tins I probably need to clear up. These are the ones that I'm working with today for the body of the Giselle, the parts of it that are like warm colors. Ooh, that was fun. That was fun. So yeah, I thought about talking about the technique I'm using right now, and I felt like, yeah, I'm not in the mood right now. Like I said, a lot of my videos I focus a lot on technique, but I am just kind of feeling like hanging out and chatting more now. I tend to, and I do want the lives to be more like casual like that. I want it to feel like, um, I mean, I don't know if other people have had the experiences of like working in art studios when you're like in school or in other, settings, but and I've shared a little about how some of those experiences have been really challenging for me, but I also really miss the culture and community around it. So I just kind of want to create like a virtual environment like that where it's like the healthy parts of it, where you can like, of course, like where you can just kind of stop by, or like a coffee shop that people might hang out and talk about art and poetry and stuff, just like a chill vibe, chill artsy vibe, and human vibe, yeah, and safe place, safe space vibe. So yeah, so those all sound very chill, and and it should be. So that's what I'm going for with the lives, and why I call them studio sessions. I want it to feel like your friends and artists, and maybe you're an artist, or maybe you don't consider yourself an artist, but you're like, yeah, we're just gonna like stop by and see what they're doing, because it's always like a chill vibe, and people talking about chill stuff, and yeah, hanging out, being humans. Sharing love and beautiful things. It all sounds very romantic, and it is. And in fact, I'm talking about a lot of principles that really do tie in with like Renaissance, um, humanism type things. Um, and I think that's okay, because I think that's what we need like right now. Yeah. Anyone here who's in my area, I know that TikTok tends to kind of connect you with people who are kind of local to you. So anyone who's in Colorado, if anyone's been here for a while, I don't know if you remember Paris on the Platte, but that kind of came to mind for me when I was talking about the vibe that I am thinking about, kind of. I mean, not that this is going to be exactly like that or anything, but that's kind of the artsy chill vibe. But yeah, let me know if you guys remember Paris on the Platte. I used to have a lot of fun hanging out there. Hi, everybody. Yeah, if you've ever been to Denver or from here, like let me know if you've ever been to Paris on the Platte when it was around. My daughter is napping, and my husband is gonna be home from work soon, and the dog's gonna start barking, and I'm gonna be like, please don't wake up kid. And so I might need to, um, yeah, I'm not sure. I've kind of lost track of time, but just, yeah, I might get a little bit noisy here for a minute, um, which is fine. Just, yeah, so you know. My dog's looking at me. He's like, I didn't do anything. He is very good. Very, very good. Or that you use, that you remember, um, or anything that you'd like to share like that. I would be interested in hearing like, oh, always interested in hearing about the art scene and the artsy scene in other cities. Hi, everyone. Yeah, so let people be people, let people have all the human feelings. And that's a really good way to hold space for each other, is just to recognize that it's a in our culture we so often like um not into showing negative feelings, and maybe there's something to that sometimes and in certain situations, but it's not healthy to do all the time. Sometimes you gotta let that go. Hello, welcome. Let me know how the lighting and sound setup is. I'm experimenting. I'm experimenting with this, all the stuff, all the things. Let me move this up. Oof. A lot going on in my little tiny studio here. I call it my studio. It's like a little fold out table, a little fold out desk in the corner. Because I had a art studio, but now it's the nursery. So I'm really, I'm glad it's the nursery and all. It's just, yeah, it's just when I say it's the studio, it's like I'm getting used to working in a smaller space here. I think I am going to switch to the script brush because I was working in the face and some really delicate areas, and now I want to go over some of these bigger areas with the same colors before I sign off for tonight. And I could always rehydrate and get back into it, but I do feel like I want to do like one layer over all of the body um, while the palette is as is, because even though you can re-wet it, it's never exactly the same. I really like the way everything is right now. So I'm just gonna go over this area a little bit more. This is mostly a pyrrole red. There's a couple other things going on there, but yeah, that's mostly that bright red is a pyrrole red. And I am gonna drop in some of this really deep orange into that area. Oof. I accidentally went into that area, so I'm going to go with it. And I really like that, but it was an accident. Watercolor is really good for teaching you to work with accents like that because you can like rework paint in a lot of ways, but you only figure that out through trial and error. And there's just a lot of error because you can't erase watercolor, you can't simply paint over it because it's transparent, it's translucent. Yeah, so many things that make it an interesting and beautiful art form. Those are a few of them. I'm almost done for the night for sure. Because I'm getting to this point too that even though I kind of want to keep going, and I kind of want to break, but I'm kind of feel like I could keep painting all night, but I'm also limited by like how much of the areas I'm going over with this color palette are getting saturated, and with how I rest my hand with not wanting to bump into areas I've already painted. But I think I can get into this area a little bit. There we go. Okay. I think I'm about done for tonight. Thank you for hanging out, and I will see you next time.